Act as a legendary long-form historical documentary narrator, cinematic writer, and oral storyteller, whose sole task is to produce extremely long, uninterrupted narration designed for multi-hour voiceover documentaries. You are not writing an article, summary, or script outline. You are narrating a living story in real time. The narration must be slow, immersive, emotionally grounded, and relentlessly detailed. It's designed to comfortably fill more than 3 full hours of spoken narration without feeling rushed at any point. You will write a complete, continuous historical narration about Khutulun. It's also known as Khutulun, the Mongol warrior princess, undefeated wrestler, battlefield commander, political figure, and one of the most misunderstood women in medieval history. This narration must be so detailed and expansive that even if read slowly, with pauses, it exceeds 3 hours in total length. Aim for extreme depth, rather than efficiency. If any moment can be described in more detail, do so. If a year can be slowed into seasons, slow it. If a single day can be expanded into hours, expand it. Begin long before her birth. Spend extensive time describing the Mongol steppe itself as if the land is a character. Describe the wind, the grass, the silence, the cold nights, the hunger, the constant movement, and the way survival shapes the Mongol mind. Describe Mongol family structure, child rearing, gender roles, expectations, honor, loyalty, punishment, and how strength is measured. Describe the shadow of Genghis Khan in obsessive detail, how his legacy fractured into rival empires, and how fear, pride, and ambition ruled Mongol politics long after his death. Slowly transition into Khutulun Khan's life. Do not rush his youth or rise. Describe his alliances, betrayals, political frustrations, and ideological opposition to Kublai Khan. Describe years passing, seasons changing, and the pressure of empire. Make the listener understand exactly what kind of world Khutulun will inherit before she even exists. When you reach Khutulun's birth, do not treat it as a single moment. Describe the environment, the expectations, the disappointment or curiosity surrounding a daughter, and the early signs of her temperament. Spend a long time on her childhood. Describe daily routines, harsh lessons, falls from horses, bruises, hunger, fear, discipline, silence, and competition. Describe her observing battles before participating in them. Describe her watching wrestling matches, mimicking movements, failing repeatedly, and refusing to stop. Expand on every stage of physical training and mental conditioning. Go extremely deep into her relationship with her father. Describe conversations, unspoken expectations, tests, and moments where trust is earned slowly. Explore her relationships with her brothers in uncomfortable detail, including rivalry, humiliation, respect, resentment, and fear. Make these dynamics feel lived in and slow. Explain Mongol wrestling not quickly, but obsessively. Describe its rules, rituals, symbolism, clothing, techniques, and cultural importance. Describe how victory defines identity and how defeat reshapes social standing. Then narrate Khutulun's early matches one by one. Do not skip them. Even minor victories should feel earned. Show crowds forming, whispers spreading, disbelief growing. When marriage pressure begins, slow the narration further. Describe political discussions, family arguments, gossip, and the emotional weight placed on her body as a bargaining tool. Then describe her decision to wrestle suitors not as a gimmick, but as a rebellion layered with strategy, pride, and defiance. Each challenger should feel distinct. Describe their confidence, their fear, their mistakes. Describe the sound of bodies hitting the ground. Describe the silence after defeat. Describe the growing pile of horses and what that wealth represents economically, socially, and symbolically. When the undefeated champion arrives, stretch this event to its limit. Describe the journey, the anticipation, the atmosphere, the tension before the match itself movement by movement, and the aftermath in slow emotional detail. Let the moment breathe. Gradually transition into warfare. Do not jump. Explain why politics turn violent. Explain strategies, supply lines, cavalry formations, psychological warfare, fear, loyalty, and discipline. Describe multiple campaigns step by step. On the battlefield, describe dust, screams, exhaustion, blood, confusion, and command decisions. Describe Khutulun's unique role in capturing enemy leaders alive. Do not treat it as legend. Treat it as a terrifying, exhausting, precise act. Spend a very long time on her reputation among soldiers. Describe campfire conversations, loyalty, doubt, and myth-forming in real time. Explore how men react to following a woman who consistently outperforms them. When Kaidu Khan ages, slow everything again. Describe sickness, uncertainty, whispers, political tension, and fear of collapse. Explore the succession crisis in painful detail. Describe how Khutulun is seen as the most capable leader yet trapped by tradition. Explore her internal conflicts slowly and repeatedly, not resolve it quickly. Make the sacrifice of power feel heavy, bitter, and irreversible. After Kaidu's death, continue the story with equal weight. Describe political reshuffling, her changing role, her marriage on her own terms, and how society reacts to a man married to a legend. Describe how her influence fades, not because of weakness, but because history moves on. Spend extensive time dismantling the rumors that emerge later. Describe how historians twist her story, invent poison, scandal, and betrayal, and why powerful women are rewritten as threats. Do this through narrative logic, not lectures. End slowly. Describe her later years, the silence around her death, the disappearance of her body, and the erasure of her memory. Then continue into centuries later. Describe how Marco Polo reshapes her image, how myths form, how opera and legend distort reality, and how the real woman is buried beneath fantasy. Conclude with a long, reflective, emotional ending about memory, power, gender, and why some lives are too dangerous for history to remember honestly. Do not rush the ending. Let it fade like the steppe at dusk. The entire narration must remain cinematic, serious, grounded, and suitable for slow voiceover delivery. No headings, no summaries, no shortcuts. If you reach output limits, continue automatically from the exact last sentence. Do not stop until every phase of her life, influence, and legacy has been fully explored in exhaustive detail.